Do you know, Jason, what one of the hardest things I think has to be in the world, truly?
What's that?
Being married to, like, a male actor who's in movies. Because,
Hmm.
like, think about it like this. You have to figure out how good a movie has to be for them to hang dong.
Right.
Because, like, I feel like tits can kind of be in, like, any movie, you know, what, like, that's whatever at this point.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's a little like sexist or
No,
reflecting
I
the
think it's the
patriarchy.
opposite of
But
sexist. I
you
think
think
that
so?
tits should be as normalized as male nipples. I don't think you need to
Okay.
win an Oscar for a male nipple. Do you?
Sure.
Do you need to win an Oscar
No.
for a tit?
No. I reckon not.
Right, exactly.
But yeah,
Are you the fucking sexist? Are you against freeing the nipple? I notice you record with a shirt on.
that's true. I do. I mean,
No.
uh,
Oh,
the
sorry,
nipples
continue.
reserved for my OnlyFans.
That's true.
Oh, and I
That's
get
true. Yeah, and we appreciate our OnlyFans, by the way, because there's like 30 of you guys. Somehow number 12 in Algeria, though.
right.
But yeah, no, like I think tits you can put in whatever movie, and like
Sure.
unfortunately, just not a lot of directors are brave enough to let anybody hang beef at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like no one's hanging
Sure.
beef in a movie.
Yeah. I I guess you're right. I haven't really. Guess I haven't seen any movies recently.
Man, it's like you hate fucking culture.
I do.
Uh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, like for me, if I was married to a male actor or any
Sure.
actor with a penis for that matter, because obviously
Yeah.
women and non-binary people can also have penises.
Sure.
Uh, I'm thinking you need at least an 82 on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's for the tip. And if I'm seeing
Right.
Shaft, let alone Scrotum, like it needs to get an Oscar or I'm getting divorced.
Yeah. No, that totally tracks.
Yeah.
Um, have you ever seen what the hell is that movie? Speaking of hanging dong, it was Willem Dafoe.
Oh, he has a
Uh,
huge dick.
Antichrist, I think is what it was called. Dude, there's like full on penetration.
Oh man,
I don't know if that
I
won
have
an
not
Oscar,
seen that
but
one. I have
it's
not
uh
seen that one.
it's pretty fucked up.
Man, yeah, I can't think of anything more fucked up than penetration.
Well, that's not even close to the worst part. I'm not gonna. I'll let you be surprised.
Why is it? Why is they making a movie called Antichrist and no movie? You know, I'm Jewish. Maybe I don't have a dog in this fight. Why don't we make a movie
Sure.
called Pro Christ and a movie
Right.
called Christ Neutral? Show people
Uh
the
huh.
options.
Yeah. Yeah. Both sides.
All three
No,
sides,
I
for
get it.
that matter.
Right. Uh huh.
You know, the
Yeah.
pyramid
Totally.
model.
Right.
Anyway, welcome to Underworld
Pyramid
News
Christ.
Tonight.
Yeah.
We just got back from a 2-week vacation, and I got to tell you guys, I am blissed out and relaxed.
That's good. Yeah.
I
What
am
did you do? Anything fun?
no. Anyway, welcome to the show. My name is Andrew Michaels. I am joined by a man with a Hollywood connection that you guys might not know about. He's the
Hmm.
guy who's going to euthanize young Sheldon this weekend, Jason
That's right.
Strong.
And I'll be thrilled to do it.
So, Jason, I got to tell you something, which is that I was looking at the demographics for our listeners, and this one came as a shock. Well, not that much of a shock. 82% of them have dementia.
That sort of tracks.
Yeah. So can you just let them know like what this show is, what it's about?
Yeah. We cover the weird, wild, and wacky news of the week.
We cover the weird, wacky, and wild news of the week. You motherfucker! How do you have? You better have dementia, or I'll give you dementia for fucking up the order. I'll
Oh,
tell you right now. I will inject you with dementia in a needle. Is that how it works?
I don't think so, but
I'll have an Alzheimer's patient cough on you.
yeah, that's definitely how it works.
Sorry. Maybe I'm getting a bit too heated.
Hmm.
But that's because we have a story on a topic that gets me heated.
Hmm.
This is from the Irish Star, not to
Mm.
be confused with the most famous Irish star of all, the Lucky Charms leprechaun.
Sure.
Fun
Yeah.
fact about the Lucky Charms leprechaun. He was originally a priest in Dublin who got transferred to the U.S. in the 80s.
Yeah. Really?
Nobody knows. Yeah, nobody knows why.
That kind of makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is not about the Lucky Charms leprechaun. This is about a Tic Tac
No.
shaped UFO.
Hmm.
The one of the more prolific shapes in recent years. I know we excitedly saw some flying saucers recently, but this is the Tic Tac that
Right.
dropped out of the sky and sped
Hmm.
off after a U.S. Navy man overboard alert.
Oh,
Alert. Oh man, we take 2 weeks
alert.
off from podcasting, and I
I
forget how
know.
to talk entirely.
Right. Isn't that like a weird liquor? Alort.
Alert.
You're right.
Malort. Yeah, the
Like a
Chicago
weird
liquor.
herbal. You're right.
It's not as bad as people say, but like it's not good.
Okay.
All right. So Omara Lara was on board the USS Nimitz when a
Hmm.
Tic Tac UFO was spotted hurtling at impossible speeds off the Californian coast. This
Hmm.
story by Michael Moran and Rudy Kinsella. Again, a lot of
An
these stories
Irish
have
name, if ever there was one.
Kinsella, Rudy
Yeah.
Kinsella. Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. Sorry, I don't want to say this. My dad could listen to this while driving and then he'll start crying. Uh, a sailor linked to one of the globe's most notorious UFO encounters has
Hmm.
revealed that he personally witnessed another mysterious vessel. Omara Lara, which like has to be a code name, right? That's not this person's real name, I don't think. I'm gonna say it's a
I
code
don't
name.
know. Yeah.
If
Could
your
be. It's
real
pretty
name,
cool.
yeah, I know it has to, because they're not gonna give their real name if they're still doing it. They'd be like, "You're
That's
fired."
that's true. That's a cool name though.
Yeah. Who was aboard the USS Nimitz during the infamous Tic Tac UFO event off the
Hmm.
coast of California, opened
Hmm.
up on the UAP Studies podcast about his experience. Podcasts, by the way, being where real journalism happens.
Exactly. Yeah. The last bastion of truth.
The last bastion of truth, and dare I say it, the last blue collar profession in America.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He suggested that those out of the loop since the 2004 incident would be astonished by what he's seen. Lara recounted a conversation with two other Nimitz crew members who also observed the baffling phenomena around their vessel for several days, stating,
Hmm.
"We're basically embedded with this stuff, but if you get the general public who are not part of our subculture, they're going to have different reactions. They're going to get scared. I don't think I don't think entirely everyone is ready."
Hmm.
During a man, Omar shared that beyond the well-known fighter jet encounter sent to check out on Omara, I think the articles just started calling him Omar.
Yeah. Huh.
What the fuck? Is
Maybe
there a
they
different
slipped up.
person? Man,
Maybe they blew his
two
cover.
fucking writers on this thing. I'm sorry, two
Right.
writers on this thing. One of whom is the content editor. One of them is the
Right.
content fucking editor,
Hmm.
and they mix up. Omara goes to Omar. Holy shit! I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Right.
Nobody, I know
Hmm.
it's not easy to live up to UNT standards, but
Hmm.
like, what the fuck is this? Truly,
Right. Yeah, that's a pretty major blunder.
we are putting you on blast, Irish Star. I mean, should I even finish the story at this point, or is this like thoroughly discredited?
Well, let's see where it goes, and then we'll
Okay,
decide.
let's see where it goes. Sorry, I scrolled all the way up because I'm so bad. Omar shared that beyond the well-known fighter jet encounter, you know what makes me mad, honestly, is that I spotted it on the first slip-up. Like, I spotted it on the first slip-up. There are two writers, one of whom is ostensibly an editor.
Right. Yeah, that's a little sad.
Like, what the fuck? Oh my god.
What's the state of journalism
Oh
today?
my god.
You know
Irish
that
Star.
yeah, they've been firing all the reporters, slimming down, cutting costs, trimming down the newsrooms,
All right. How's
leaning on
this for a
AI.
joke?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and how's this for a joke right here?
Huh.
Irish Star. I'd expect better journalism from Patrick Star.
That's really good.
Is that actually good?
That's pretty good.
Oh my god. We got it.
Nailed it.
All right, you know what? I'm going to
We should
say
just
it.
end the podcast.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. The Kids Choice Awards for podcasting goes to Andrew Michaels, Man of the People. Oh man, sorry. We'll continue.
Yeah, we'll muddle through.
Omar, I'm just going to say Omar is a different guy. Omar works in the cafeteria at the Irish Star. Shared that
Okay.
beyond the well-known fighter jet encounters sent to check out unusual radar blips, he himself spotted something extraordinary from the carrier's deck.
Hmm.
During a man overboard alarm, as Omar scanned the sea in hopes of finding the individual, he detailed, "We actually saw this guy. We went over to the deck edge and we saw this guy floating and the current took him way out. That's the
Ugh.
only reason why we saw this thing."
Hmm.
Omar, along with his crewmate Rick Palmer, witnessed an unexplainable event. It just dropped out from the sky, landed about 40 to 50 feet above the waterline, and shot off to the right, he recounted. It made an acute triangle and exploded right back to where it came from. There was no sonic boom, no noise,
Hmm.
nothing. The entire strange incident took less than 15 seconds. He emphasized that he
Wow.
didn't believe that the UAPs seen around the U.S. coast by numerous military personnel could possibly be drones operated by Russian or Chinese spies. Omar remembered a chat
Hmm.
with another Nimitz sailor after the sightings and speculated that the objects must be extraterrestrial in origin. The
Ugh.
other seaman, who Omar called JD,
Hmm.
because he looked a lot like Zach Braff.
Right. Are we gonna? And then the next sentence, it's gonna out his name.
The other seaman, who Omar called JD, told his hot girlfriend to stop taking antidepressants. Wait, no, sorry, it doesn't say that. Uh, that's a joke. That's a reference to it. Do you feel like I don't think I think none of our listeners are too young to get Garden State references. I don't think.
I don't think so. I
I
don't
have that movie on DVD, and I've owned the DVD for 6 years. And I'll tell you something:
know.
plastic is still on the case.
Huh?
It's
Say,
not
I
a
don't know.
joke.
I don't know if I've seen it beginning to end. I think I fell asleep.
I've seen screenshots. They were
Right.
good.
I'm familiar. I'm aware of the premise, but
I've seen it in cracked.com articles.
right.
All right. The other seaman who Omar called JD wasn't convinced. He recalled, "Remember him saying you don't believe in this stuff? In that stuff, do you?" And I said, "I don't know, man. I guess I do now. Seeing is
Hmm.
believing."
Mm.
That's why nobody listens to podcasters.
Right.
But
They can't.
Omar's, yeah,
No,
auditory medium.
right.
We sacrificed our bodies to do this,
Uh huh.
like
Yep.
Danny Phantom.
Yep. That's why they
Yeah.
can't see my nipples.
Oh, yeah, no, exactly. Free his nipple from the Phantom Zone. Are we okay today? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I don't
I
think
think we both spent 2 weeks in different gas leak zones.
so. Right. I decided to start doing PCP in the past couple weeks.
Oh man, we
I'm a
should
little
we should
muddled.
if we ever start a Patreon, the first one should be a live stream where we just do PCP in a room together and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Let us know, guys, if you were interested in the. I guess that's the Spotify question
Wait,
today. Do you think I can ask that in the Spotify question? Will we get in trouble? I don't think that there's enough
I
people
don't think we
listening
get
for
in
it to get
trouble.
recorded.
No,
I don't think
no,
they care enough about us. Yeah.
no.
Should
Did you
would
say
you
that's the?
guys pay?
Did you say that's the first level though?
No, that's the
Because
first like
because
thing that happens. That's you get a monthly live stream. The first one is that. We start them off with a big
okay,
one. We
the
do
the
a few
first two,
smaller
yeah,
ones, and then we
got
will
okay,
eventually have to up the ante again. But we get a
right,
little bit of a reprieve after the PCP one. So yeah,
yeah,
let us know if you'd be interested in the Spotify question. Sorry, I'm not that focused on the UFO story after the journalism blunder. I will continue obviously, but let me just
yeah,
say once again, Spotify question. Should Jason and I do PCP in a room together for money that you guys would give us on Patreon?
yeah.
You think Patreon would allow that? Probably.
I have no idea. I don't see why not. I
What
mean,
if we told them it was staged? But like you guys know, like we are saying on the podcast right now, it's not staged, and that's like
right,
legally a joke. But like Patreon, we
right,
would tell like, oh, this is staged.
right, yeah,
This is like a bit. They get access to
yeah. We're
like
just
our
goofing,
homemade action movies, the side of us they don't see on the show.
right?
But now
Yeah,
we're just doing PCP in a room together and
right. Just
seeing where it
screaming.
goes.
Yeah.
Just screaming and waving our dicks in front of the camera. And by the end of the night, Jason Strong's gonna hang Beeve.
Yep. It sounds like any Tuesday for me.
All right, sorry. They're
Okay,
at
let's
war.
go. Yeah.
All right, now he starts talking about Ukraine. He says like this isn't Russian technology because they're at war with Ukraine, so we would have seen it by now. Russia has UAP sightings. China has UAP sightings. This is all according to
Mhm.
JD. So
Yeah.
this is like Omar's friend JD.
Right.
They're probably thinking on the other side it's probably America or Russia, and then Russia is probably thinking it's probably America or the Chinese. Is how that ends.
Mhm.
Uh,
Sure.
I don't think we can trust the Irish. I'm sorry, Omara to Omar, two writers, and I catch it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the guy that fell overboard?
Oh, he
They
died.
kind of forgot about him real quick. Did he? That sucks.
He's not. Yeah, no, he's definitely dead. I mean, they didn't say, but like for sure. No, you know what? They actually he went to he was rescued by mermaids, and they're sucking his dick on a magical island right now.
Oh, wow, man.
And mermen are licking his asshole if he's bi, but if he's not bi, they're not going to do that.
It sounds like the real story here instead of this tic tac crap.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get right on it, Jason. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that happens to your that happened to your goldfish when you were a kid.
Oh man. My parents told me they went to a farm upstate.
Goldfish farm, yeah. How do you
Right.
think they make the cracker?
Oh, oh shit. I never even thought about that. um
But no,
yeah,
he would have been breeding stock. Your goldfish fucked.
absolutely. Yeah, any goldfish of mine.
That's the weird
Um
thing about telling your kids. Sorry, I don't want to get us too sidetracked on our first episode back, but that's the weird thing, right? About telling your kid, like, oh, your dog went to a farm upstate. Like, are you saying my dog is like breeding stock? Like, is my dog
right, it's like a
fucking?
stud. Yeah.
Yeah, because like presume he's not a puppy, right? And like the dog
Right.
farms, dog meat's not legal. We're not doing dog fur anymore.
No.
Like is my dog fucking? Lentil doesn't have nuts. Is
Right.
he part of an experiment up there to get his nuts back so he can fuck to produce more puppies?
Possibly.
Because we should like be devoting that to curing cancer.
Yeah. Instead of restoring neutered
My
dog
dog's
nuts.
nuts. Yeah, like we could
Yeah.
just not, we could just be more careful about which ones we snip in the first place. Lentil,
Right.
he didn't need
Yeah.
them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So this was off the coast of California. We've heard about like these tic tac things. Like this
Yeah,
seems like kind of a
California is
hot
a
spot for
hotbed
that.
for Tic Tac UFOs. Very
And did
interesting.
and if I recall, wasn't there some there we did get a report of something from Ukraine.
Yeah, there was a sighting in Ukraine. It was not a Tic Tac shape.
Okay.
I think that was a more traditional saucer. The Tic Tac UFOs off the coast of California, they've generally all been coastal as well. So,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
interesting. These are ones that very much congregate near water. Other sightings tend to be much more inland.
Sure.
Uh, so things can vary quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. If only it wasn't a shit source.
I
And
know. If
now I
only
don't
it
know what to
wasn't.
believe.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this one. I'm not trusting it. I'm sorry. You
No.
fuck up that Omar shit. I will tolerate a lot, but that's where I
Right.
draw the line.
Yeah. Inexcusable. For all
Best
we know,
believe it.
the UAP was shaped like a certs, not a tic tac.
I know, man. For all we know, it was. But what the fuck's a certs?
Oh shit! I was as soon as I said that, I thought, do they still make those?
I was like
Like
about to finish it. I was like,
a lifesaver,
oh, lifesavers.
like
Oh,
a
those
little
are good.
hard candy. Yeah, certs, man.
What the? Oh my god.
I really
Real
hate certs,
controversial. That's like that they had O.J. Simpson be their spokesman.
right. Yeah, that's why you don't see them anymore.
Yeah,
Well,
He killed him
right. Real shame. Denied
just
the
to kill
world.
their wives.
Right. Denied the world the minty freshness of a certs.
Oh man.
Oh. Okay, we ready for the next one here?
I think so. I think that we've run its course on our rage at the Irish Star.
Well, here's something else we can rage at. The Vatican.
Oh yeah.
This comes to us from News Nation. Devin Markham and Steph Whiteside.
If there is one error in this two-writer piece, if there is one,
Yeah, we'll see. Headline: Vatican unveils new guidance on supernatural phenomena.
I mean, they do worship the most famous ghost in the world.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Kind of. I do, I was thinking about this because I was raised Catholic, that I feel like the Holy Spirit does sort of get short shrift, like because you got God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit,
Yeah, it's
right?
because it's God, Jesus, and vibes.
Right. But yeah, like you don't really pray to the, well, I don't know. Maybe there are. It's been a while.
You need
Yeah.
to get right with
Get my
God,
ass, right.
Jason. Get your ass
Get,
to fucking church.
get
Just
my ass to a
go to
mass.
Thursday night church right now. That would be a scary way to get back into it. Holy shit.
Thursday
That
night
would be a
mass. Right.
vibe.
Right. I'd be one of like 7 people.
There would be like it was always the scariest teacher you know in school you knew in New Jersey public school was like, I gotta go to Thursday night church tonight.
Right. Yep. Uh, the
If a kid
Vatican
if a,
offered. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, if a kid you knew went to Thursday night church, maybe this joke's over the line. If a kid you knew went to Thursday night church, like his dad beat him for sure. For sure, right? Like
Oh
there's
man. Oh. I mean, I don't think you're wrong, but uh, the Vatican offered new guidance Friday regarding supernatural phenomenon and other apparitions, presenting new provisions of the dicastery for the doctrine of faith. Dicastery, I had to look it up. It's just court.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I
The
think the Castries on my fantasy F1 team.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
what is he? Like Italian?
Uh, yeah, I guess.
um, no, the Vatican sure does love its bureaucracies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
Because if you can't fuck,
right.
the best thing to do realistically to
Mhm.
stop these priests who can't fuck from molesting any kids is to give them the most boring office jobs on the planet.
Right. We need committees, lots
And
and
then the
lots of
worst
committees.
they can do is sexually harass a 19-year-old intern who's also a priest.
Right. Right. And it keeps them busy. A lot of paperwork, I'm sure.
Exactly. Like they got to figure out Excel.
Right. That's not always easy. And they have to come up with all these obscure names for like different meeting types and groups and like
Yeah, oh yeah.
dicastery. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Like you're just sort of
Castry.
showing off. Yeah,
Yeah,
we get it, Mr. Vocabulary.
yeah, why don't you I'll kick Castry out of you if you keep that shit up.
Right. The Vatican radically reformed its process for evaluating alleged visions of the Virgin Mary, weeping statues, and other seemingly supernatural phenomena, putting
It
the
said just
brakes.
because this lady looks like she didn't get laid,
Right.
not automatically the Virgin Mary.
Right.
Just because you wouldn't fuck her.
uh, Putting the brakes on making definitive declarations unless the event is obviously fabricated. So you're familiar. Yeah, again, I was thinking about this. Like, this seems like a uniquely Catholic thing, but these sort of like witnessing these sort of like miracles or appearances,
I mean, like I know like a lot of religions have it, but because Catholics have so many saints, like they'll see it with like they'll be like, I saw like some guy who was like a priest in 1922 and now he's a saint.
Right, right, yeah, and they'll appear like, yeah, people will see them.
Well, I was listening to a podcast about Mother Teresa, which, like, by the way, like, not a great lady, it turns out, if the
right,
podcast is to be believed, and you always should.
yeah, absolutely,
Um,
yeah,
like, apparently she became a saint in part because of this vision this lady had. She like
hmm
shot laser beams. Like the two things were like this lady's cancer got cured and she saw
hmm
like a big portrait of Mother Teresa shoot laser beams out of her eyes. And the crazy thing
sweet,
is the lady's husband was like at the cancer to like I guess Superman in a way. I'm like half remembering this because this was the beginning of the vacation.
sure,
Uh and
hmm,
the apparently the lady's husband was like, no, like she went through like chemo and radiation and shit, and that like got rid of the cancer. And like she probably
Yeah,
saw Mother Teresa shooting lasers out of her eyes because of the massive fucking brain tumor she had.
right. The like pharmaceutical cocktail,
Yeah, the drugs and the
like
brain tumor made
probably
her see
right,
fucking weird shit.
probably yeah, probably not the most reliable. But no, yeah, I hear about this shit, statues of Mary like weeping blood, or the stigmata is a big one, like
Oh
people
yeah,
having the like wounds of Jesus on the cross.
yeah. Go to a doctor.
Yeah, like people yeah,
They
this
can
is
fix that now.
right. Um
You know
yeah,
what the
so
thing
the
is about?
what
Sorry, like
no.
if you had the stigmata, right? Maybe this is
Uh-huh.
also offensive to Catholics, and I wouldn't mean. I really, I know it's a beautiful religion, but if you had the stigmata, would you use it to hold an ice cream cone ever? Like I'd at least once, use it to hold an
Right.
ice cream cone. Like on a hot day,
Like
I'd be like, take of this and eat it, and I'd have an ice cream cone in each hand.
right. Man, I never would have thought of that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, everyone thinks about jerking off. They don't think about, obviously he's not allowed to jerk off.
Right.
His dad
Yeah.
will see it.
No.
It's not.
Uh-huh.
It's not even because it's not allowed. It's not even because it's not allowed. It's because if your dad is God, your dad watches you jerk off every time you do it.
I
So
know.
like,
Right.
he's not gonna jerk off. He
It's
doesn't care
got to
if
be
you do.
rough. Right. Got to be rough.
He likes to watch, but
um yeah, this is the first change in about 50 years. Last time it was changed was 78. Um Typically it's up to local bishops to investigate these sort of miracles.
and if
The
there's
article
one
uses
person
the
you
word
could trust,
apparition.
it's
As a
a local
bishop,
bishop.
a local bishop. Yeah,
The bishop of fucking I don't know, fucking New Brunswick, New Jersey sounds real trustworthy.
right. um, yeah, but the problem is like their investigations take time. Um, there was a supposed sighting of the Virgin Mary in Eastern Europe in like the 80s. Took them 10 years to investigate it, and then by that time, like it's already all over. News is already
Yeah, by that
all over
time
the world, and
that's enough time for her to get laid.
right. Then she's not a virgin anymore, and it
I
kind of
know. Then
defeats
she's
the
just some
purpose.
like. There's a lot of ladies named Mary,
Right,
most of whom are
that's
very
true.
nice. My grandma's named Mary, nice lady.
My mom's named Mary.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
There you go. I don't think I've ever seen her weep blood. That'd be concerning.
Yeah. Now, if my grandma well, I mean, she's at that age.
When she just weep blood.
Yeah. Like I visit her in her nursing home sometimes, and like Italian nursing homes are real nice though.
um, yeah, the thrust of this is that the Vatican realizes they can't investigate these things in a timely fashion before news spreads on social media. So instead, they're focusing on whether or not it is concurrent with like religious doctrine. So
Right.
they're not saying like, yes, this is true. They're just saying, well, there's no rule against it. Um,
Technically.
right. They do want to focus on like obvious hoaxes and frauds. They find that particularly sinful, as one might
Yeah.
expect.
Yeah. It's not
Um,
good
yeah,
because
diddling
it me.
kids, okay.
Yeah. You can look.
Faking an appearance of what, Saint Bartholomew.
Yeah, because here's the thing,
That's crossing
right?
a line.
Here's the thing. If there are ghosts, that's somebody that it's ethical for priests to molest. That it's like it's fair game, I think, right? And not to me, not to me, but I think legally to the Vatican, if you're a priest, you
That's
can
cool.
molest one ghost a year.
Hmm.
I don't agree with it. I'm Jewish. We have a
Sure.
0 ghosts a year. You can't molest any ghosts.
No.
Now, Jews don't molest ghosts
No. Well, you're missing out.
or eat pork.
Yeah. One of those two would be difficult for me.
Yeah, man. And
um,
you're a vegan.
That's you're right. um, yeah. Pretty kind of interesting. There's they go on to talk about you know what. One of the recent apparitions that they reference is you know people selling toast that they purport has like has a burn, an image of Jesus or
Yeah, which
Mary
you could just buy a
on the
toaster.
toast. And
You could buy a Darth Vader toaster.
right, it says that recently a piece of toast with Mary on it sold for $28,000
Can I tell you
on
something, by the way?
eBay.
First
Please.
off, either one, right? Like, once somebody's face is in a toast, they look pretty like whatever. But also, here's the thing:
Yeah,
the idea to me, maybe I'm a bit of a weirdo about toast. My wife doesn't thinks the way I like my toast is like, I don't think she likes her toast the same way because I like my toast like burnt as fuck, like
sure.
basically. Like I like my
Okay.
toast like real dark and crispy. Like,
Okay.
so like the idea of like an uneven toast with like Jesus or Darth Vader or Mary or fucking I guess your face is pretty similar to Jesus's in a lot of ways, once we
Sure.
get down to the toast level.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, like so all any of those faces, like, you know, my wife is the most beautiful woman in the world, but I would not want her face in toast because
No.
it would not be an even char.
Right.
And that's
Right.
what I'm looking for in breakfast. If Jesus was
No,
in
I
my
get it.
toast, I would assume that I need to stop masturbating because he's going to start fucking with my breakfast. If I was Catholic, that's what
Right.
I would think. Otherwise, I would say, are you coming after the Jews starting with me with this fucking toast?
I'd throw it
We can
away
go to
and
war, motherfucker.
yeah.
I'll crucify you again.
Oh man, hot take.
You'll be able to hold a lot of ice cream.
um. Oh, excuse me. It wasn't toast. It was grilled cheese. It was a
Oh,
grilled cheese
that's
sandwich
worse. Wait, so what? Because you
with
can't
the
eat
Virgin
that.
Mary.
You can't eat like the toast. You could just leave it and it's dry and it'll get moldy or whatever. You could probably like once you have cheese because you're not going to eat it, right? It's like you.
No.
All right, so if you make toast, you're because
Mhm.
you grew up Catholic.
Yeah.
If you made toast and Jesus or Mary's face was in it, like
Mm-hmm.
let's just even say Mary, not the big cheese, Jesus himself. Whether it was a
Sure.
toast or a grilled cheese or I don't know what's another food that a face could be in. A creme
Pancake,
brulee.
creme brulee. Sure. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
you
be a
guys were
good
eating a
one.
lot of creme brulee growing up, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was like every night,
Toast.
gather around
Toast.
for the creme
Yep.
brulee.
Yep.
Toast and creme brulee for dinner.
After mass. Yeah. Toast and creme brulee. Sometimes a grilled cheese.
If you're lucky.
Right.
We don't know why we can't feed our family. No, we can't reduce the creme brulee budget.
Right.
But if you had any of those with Jesus or Mary's face in it, you can't eat it, right? Because it's like
No.
that would be bad.
Right. That would be sinful
See, for me, I'd
as
be
a
like, "Why?
Catholic.
Oh, this looks like there's some guy in it."
Right.
Yum yum
Chomp.
yum.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking a
Um.
lot about creme brulee because I went out to my anniversary dinner last night and we
Oh,
shared a little bit of creme
congratulations.
brulee thing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean it's really easy because you just go to a restaurant with your wife and you're out at your anniversary dinner if you do it on the right day.
Oh,
You have a
wow.
1 in 365 chance.
Right. So I just have to go
Uh,
every day, and I'll get there eventually.
Eventually, yeah. Yeah, I ate a little bit of a creme brulee thing. We split it. It was good, but
No, it sounds good.
yeah.
Um, yeah, the article goes on.
I wish I got my own. Is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, my wife's always wanting to share everything, and
No, I
sometimes
wanted
it
to share
pisses
it.
me off.
I was like, I'll
I
share it. It was
gotcha.
my fault. I would have gotten my own, but you know, I would be
Yeah.
like, I'll be happy I didn't need it. Now I'm not happy I didn't need it later. I want that fucking creme brulee.
um, yeah, another consequence of this, or reason behind the decision, reducing exorcisms.
That's
Uh,
good. That's good
e-
because that's just when they torture a mentally ill person, and that's not good.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. If
In
you're doing an
19.
exorcism while listening to this podcast,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
please
say
stop.
stop the exorcism. Stop the exorcism. Keep listening to the show. We need you to
Yeah.
listen to the show all the way.
Uh-huh.
But stop the exorcism. Let them finish the show because laughter is the best medicine, and then take them to therapy, the second best medicine.
Yes. Right. Yes. Yeah. In 1976, a German woman died. An exorcism that lasted 10 months.
Man,
I had no idea that shit, like,
10
And
months.
I guess said, growing up, I guess my family and like our congregation weren't the kind of Catholics that did any
So
of
the
this
all
shit or
of the
really
cat yeah, because
believed in
all of the
it, or
Catholic people that I know are like New York Italians. And it's
yeah,
not like that. Like they do not do exorcisms. Right? Like
right,
I know you see it like with like a lot of people in like Louisiana, and I know you see it with people a lot like Latino people sometimes. And like presumably other communities, but I know those are the two where like stuff you would hear like stuff like that does happen. But
hmm,
like New York Italians are not doing it. They're there for the cannoli, you know?
right. Well, this is Germany in 1976. I wouldn't think that,
Yeah, man. Well,
like
they're an intense people.
that. No, that's true.
They,
Um,
I believe, I think that there were some other things that in some of those people's lifetimes, that there's a lot going on to those people.
yeah. And the article concludes, it's a long article, which is why I'm just sort of summarizing it. The article concludes by tying it into UFOs, because as we have discussed on previous episodes, there has been some have claimed that UFO, UAP sightings, those are actually
Like,
angels.
yeah, we talked a bit about that on the episode, I think, Ballad of Johnny Turnip with Natalie Raff.
That's right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Yeah. And even,
Oh man, somebody's driving real loud back there.
yeah.
What are they driving? A fucking Model T? That's like an
Uh
old
huh.
timey engine.
I think it was a motorcycle.
Oh wow.
There are old cars. There's like an old car meetup, I guess, on weekends. So I get kind of a parade of them down the street on
So I
Saturdays.
started
That's
playing
kind of cool.
Gran Turismo on my PlayStation, and I get
Mhm.
now. I guess I'll like Google a car when I unlock it, and now my Facebook thinks I want to buy old vintage cars. But I will like look at them because some
Yeah,
of them they like show you the inside to be like, no, this car is clearly unusable, and some of them they like are like they'll like show them using it.
yeah,
But I also
yeah.
watched a. Have I talked in the show about the YouTube video of somebody driving a Model T that I watched?
No,
I watched a YouTube video of someone driving a Model T, and it's very crazy because you had to like the way you move it is like, oh yeah, you'd like pump the brake 3 times and then like shift the gear up down, and then you hit the
yeah,
gas twice to go in reverse. And it's like imagine having to
yeah.
remember that on the daily.
Right, right. Well, and people would like. I can't. The Model T, did you still have to crank start those?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
was
they
basically
wouldn't
just
have
a
had an electric
tractor that you
starters
could
yet.
drive on
Yeah,
the streets.
but yeah, people would get like serious injuries from like cranking it to start it
Yeah,
because it
they
would like
also let
catch and spin
children
back on
drive
them.
them.
Well, they only go like 15 miles an hour.
They go up to 40, and the
Oh,
door is only up to your waist.
well, may as well let a kid drive it.
Yeah, that's a great
Uh,
idea.
anyway, to close out the story, yeah, David Grush, you know, uh, military, former military, testified in front of
Yeah,
Congress. We
whistleblower.
reference him a
Yeah,
lot. Whistleblower. He has claimed that the Vatican is in on the UFO cover up. So
man.
this, yeah, so some changes coming out of the Vatican. Said I didn't know they did this
The
shit in
Pope
the
put out a
first place,
statement
but
and said the aliens came to me and they said, "Actually, you won't believe it. All those priests are innocent."
right, yeah,
It's crazy.
that's yeah,
They
he's
said
right.
we were watching, and we wanted to see, you know,
Hmm.
we wanted to
Right.
see how molestation happens to watch to figure out how not to do it,
I'm
and
not
we never
I'm
saw a
not
priest do
comfortable
it.
with this. Yes. Yeah, the pre shit was fake. The toast though is real,
The toast
surprisingly.
is real, yeah. The
It's
toast
really
is real.
Jesus.
Actually, most of the toast is Jesus. Some of it is Christopher Lee. We have better toasters on our
Yeah.
planet, so it's like more obvious, but
Sure, sure. No, that totally makes sense. Man, I think if I had the money, I'd pay $28,000 for a piece of grilled cheese with Christopher Lee's face on
oh
it.
yeah. Oh yeah. If Christopher Lee's soul was in a grilled cheese, I would eat it right up.
Man, to have even a portion of his power.
Yeah. I even if I didn't know that that's how it worked, I'd risk it. He's
Sure.
already dead, because maybe like if he's
Right.
trapped in a grilled cheese, he'd probably be begging me to release him. But maybe
Right.
he'd be my Yu-Gi-Oh to my Yu-Gi Moto.
That's a reference I kind of don't get. I know. I know.
Uh, in Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh is the pharaoh who's good at card games, who possesses the necklace that the kid Yugi Moto, who's a little fucking
Oh.
dweeb, who honestly like would let his grandfather die in the fire, to get a good card, but luckily the Pharaoh has some
Yeah.
fucking ethics. Yeah, that's who he possesses. So I think that Christopher Lee would be my Yu-Gi-Oh. I would be Yugi Moto.
I always thought Yu-Gi-Oh was sort of a knockoff Pokemon, or did it come
Uh,
before?
the anime was, but the card game was a knockoff Magic. The card
Right.
game was.
Well, they're all
We don't.
knockoff.
We
Yeah.
believe me. We don't. Our audience does not want to hear us get into this. Uh, our audience wants us to. Should we take a break?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Let's
take
take a break.
a.
I'm gonna make some toast and some creme
Yeah,
brulee.
we're gonna keep making toast until we get a face, and we're gonna let you
Yeah.
know who God is.
Right.
My pet is
Right.
David Cross.
That would be awesome.
Oh man. All right. All right.
I only I made about 4 slices of toast, and I can only get a Tom Holland.
Oh, well, that's worth something,
Yeah, I'll see what I can get. I'll put it on eBay.
man. Uh, well, I think that means he has to come on the show.
Possibly. Yeah,
Yeah, or
we'll send him an email.
maybe he'll no. We should send him a toast in the shape of us.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, like a fax.
Oh, I
Isn't that
like
what a
that
fax
idea.
was? Like that's what a Catholic fax is.
Yes, right. It's just toast.
I think so. I think that's how it works.
Yeah,
Anyway, welcome
yeah.
back, Jason. You got a new story to get to.
I do. This one's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's something we've
this
talked about before. Somebody we've talked about before.
Yes, absolutely. This comes to us from a Wales Online article by Neil Shaw.
I'm surprised they have internet over there.
I know. Woman who married and divorced ghost adopts possessed clown. Now, if you'll recall, we covered the story. The woman's name is Brocard. She married Victorian soldier ghost Eduardo, and then he was too clingy
Oh yeah,
and stalking her, so they divorced.
I remember that.
And didn't maybe I'm misremembering. I thought she joined the convent
She
to get
became
away
a
from
nun.
him.
Presumably that didn't work out.
Yeah.
And now she's adopting
Yeah.
a possessed ghost clown.
A possessed clown.
A possessed
Yes.
clown. Is the clown a child?
Uh,
Or is the ghost
she's
possessing
also,
the clown a child?
the clown is a doll.
Okay.
The singer-songwriter has now adopted a possessed clown after connecting with him when spending a night, get this, at the Clown Motel in Nevada.
I've heard of the Clown Motel, but I let's pause again for a second, Jason, because
Yeah.
here's my problem, right? You're talking
Sure.
about she adopted this clown doll, right? Like it's been well that
Uh-huh.
ghost has not just a job, but a job that historically was kind of clowning is like a man's job. It's a grown man's job. You got to be at least 30 to be seriously in the industry. So like
Okay.
you're adopting a grown man.
Yeah.
That's my
Right.
problem.
Yes. She was touring the USA with the clown doll, then returned home to Oxfordshire with it to conduct a paranormal investigation on him. She says her ex, Eduardo, has become jealous and does not want the clown in the house.
Well, you gotta move out, Eduardo. Eduardo, can I give you some advice? I've gotten a bit jacked since I started this show. You hit the fucking gym, Eduardo. You hit the fucking gym.
Yeah.
The ghost gym, and you meet some sexy ghost ladies.
Right.
Meet
Take
women
care
your
of
own
yourself.
age,
No.
like 350 or whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's got to be difficult to like cohabitate after a divorce.
Date another
it's a tough
ghost.
situation for them.
Date
both.
another ghost. Date Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
It might be a little out of his league. Well, I don't know. Victorian era soldier. That's
Exactly.
kind of cool. She says Eduardo. Sorry, I skipped a part. She encountered the possessed clown while touring the world, filming a series of haunted locations for her TV show pilot. So she's really milking this for all it's worth.
And you know what? The good thing is about having a TV pilot, if I know anything about that industry, they always pan out. There have been no
Exactly.
pilots that have been aired and everything, and then
That
never even showed on
right didn't
TV.
go on.
Yeah, that
Right.
have been, I mean,
Didn't
shot
go
and
on to be
everything,
a
didn't even show up on TV
right.
sometimes, most of the time.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
Right. Nope. Eduardo so far has been placid about her communicating with other spirits, and the couple rarely make contact these days.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, his
that's
unrested
healthy.
soul seems, yeah,
They're divorced.
right, especially, yeah, right. But they're still, I guess, yeah, living together.
I think she should move out. I
But
mean,
his,
because if you're a ghost, you're chained to a haunted house, right? So, like, I do think that she probably should
I,
move out, even if it's not like fair.
I think so. But I also recall from the original story that like they traveled together
Of
because
the
I
two
think
of
we had
us, you
this
smoke less
conversation
weed on the
before.
air, so I believe you.
um, but where was oh seems to be rattled at the thought of her bringing another ghost over the threshold. She said, I can instantly tell when Eduardo has a point to make. His energy is very powerful. His presence has been very manageable these days, and I only see him from time to time. He does not like the clown, though. He watches him, and I keep finding the clown by the door. Subtlety is not Eduardo's strong point.
Can I
Yeah, he has.
can I say
Sorry,
something?
go
Maybe
ahead,
this is I
please.
know it's probably not allowed in the UK, and maybe it'll make the situation worse, but maybe it'll make it better. Let me know if I'm off base here. Um,
Sure.
should they give the clown a gun?
Like what in for self defense?
Yeah, sure.
I think generally speaking, I'm against arming clowns. That
Okay,
seems
or that's
does
right. That's a bit
doesn't
like
seem like a great idea to me. Um, they do enough damage with those stupid buckets where you think they're going to throw water on you,
You know what the
and then
problem is?
surprise, it's
If
confetti.
you know a clown car fits so many people. Clown
Uh
gun's
huh.
gonna have infinite bullets.
That's true. Yeah, I wouldn't arm the clown. Uh, she goes on. He has nothing to be concerned about, as I have no intention of marrying a clown ghost. Although that would be funny.
What this
That
is?
is true.
You know what? You know what? I'm fucking sorry. This is ridiculous. This is fucking absurd. This fucking clowns are talented, industrious, hardworking people, most of whom have never killed, and some like
Most, yeah.
yeah, like they are both
Well, there's
comedians
with some notable
with
exceptions.
okay, a few notable exceptions, most of whom are in fiction.
Well, yeah.
And the one who wasn't in fiction didn't even do it well. Like John Wayne Gacy, when he was clowning, didn't do it. He wasn't a good clown. Like his makeup was bad and his shtick was bad, and
Mm,
he didn't really commit to the clowning part that much. Like he was
sure.
not a great clown. But like the idea that like clowns are some fucking schlub. They can juggle. They can ride unicycles. They're better comedians than either of us.
I mean, some, yeah,
Yeah, like they can do everything but
some can do it. Yeah.
podcast, and that's hard.
There, there's almost certainly a clown podcast, right?
I don't think
Like
we'd be
talking about
allowed
the
to
state of
listen.
the
It'd be
industry
too
or like
elite for
new.
us to
No,
listen, and that's what I'm saying. It
right,
is an industry. It is an industry.
right.
So like
Yes.
this whole like I would never marry a like fuck you, and then don't raise a clown. Don't raise a clown that you will not be able to respect as a man.
Well, she has it. She goes on to say that uh, the clown is there for research purposes only. She definitely doesn't need to get into paranormal love triangle.
Okay, so
Um,
that's not how adoption works, though. You can't adopt a kid and be like, "He's here for research purposes."
well, it's a
Like,
doll. Maybe that changes things a little. I don't know. I don't know. At the on a trip to the famous clown motel, Bricard instantly gravitated towards the clown, connected with it due to their love of theater and performing. She says the spirit trapped inside the clown immediately revealed to Bricard that he was a carnival clown and that he was a tortured soul who spent his days performing for audiences that didn't care and ridiculed him for not being funny.
they canceled him just for no, well, first off,
For,
first off, y- I'm not going to finish that joke. I'm just going to say that,
Yeah.
first off, if you're a clown and you're getting ridiculed by audiences because you're not funny, your options are either like get better, right? Like write better jokes. Sometimes you got to
Sure.
take things in a new direction. Or, like
Yeah.
nothing wrong with changing industries. Focus more on the juggling. Get in on lion taming. There are other things. There
Right.
are a lot of things you could do with the circus. You could get involved peanut side.
Yeah. Right.
That's an art in and of
No, yeah,
itself.
the possibilities are endless. Yeah, she says this man was
I should
tortured
join the
by his dreams of
circus.
stardom.
Should ask my wife
He was
after we
tortured by
record if
his
I should join the circus. Like if she would be okay with
I
us
don't
living
think
the
they're
circus life.
really around anymore.
There are circuses.
Are they? I guess the big one shut down, but yeah, there's
Barnum and
probably
Bailey's are
like
around, right? I've been to the Barnum and
smaller.
Bailey circus.
No. No, I think they went out of business.
When? COVID?
I don't know.
I'm
No,
looking this up right
I
now.
think it's before COVID. Yeah, it was more to do with like the animals. Like
No, I
people
think they stopped doing that.
aren't keen on. Okay,
Yeah, they stopped doing the animal taming, I think. But, there's other shit you can do now.
sure.
They still get to kill one guy on stage.
Right. Yeah, man was tortured by his dreams of stardom, but condemned to life in the carnival where he was underappreciated.
You know
I suppose
what?
as an artist, I can relate to this. Yeah, if
Yeah.
you want to be a star, like what famous clowns are there?
Okay,
What I mean?
there are famous
Like
clowns, and
the
especially
Joker.
back in the day, well, there was Bozo, there's Ronald McDonald, there's
I guess they
Bozo
don't.
and
Yeah,
Ronald
Ronald they
don't.
don't really use anymore.
Well, yeah, they don't use him anymore, but he was a
Um,
famous clown for decades, multiple iterations. So
I guess
don't spit in his
I guess
fucking face like
Krusty.
that. Krusty the Clown, but I'm talking about real
Fair
life
enough.
clowns even. That's so we got Bozo, and I'm going to say Ronald McDonald because that is a real man in clown
Okay,
makeup.
he is a clown.
Yeah, and that
Yeah,
is
he
a
is a
real
clown.
man. There is a man behind the Ronald.
Oh, what? Who's the old timey? He had the hobo makeup.
Is that Bozo? I think I said
Something Emmett or
Bozo.
Emmett something. I thought Bozo had like a kid show in Chicago.
Yeah, Bozo was a children's TV show that that people would watch. I don't know. I think it was on before my dad was a kid. Then there's
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it's older.
Yeah, then there's Ronald McDonald. We all know about him. There has to be a third
Sure.
famous clown that isn't John Wayne Gacy. Come on.
Right.
Come on. So there has to be one. But this does either way like prove my point. That like this she's like, oh, like I'm an artist, I relate to like being underappreciated. Well, you're talking shit about him for being a fucking clown like just a few sentences ago. So what the fuck are you talking about, right? Like you don't appreciate his art.
It seems a little cruel.
I do agree though that clowning
cruel.
is a very specialized track.
Oh yeah, no,
so like
totally.
It's not like you like wound up being a clown and you were like, oh, I should have like been a musician, Well, you were like, you like didn't just accidentally get good at wearing big shoes and juggling and putting on makeup and fitting people into a tiny car.
Right. You went out of your way to
to
learn to make balloon animals and the article goes on. The Clown Motel is a competitive environment for clowns. There are hundreds of them, all competing for the visitors' attention. The Clown Motel, largely reported as one of the most haunted locations in Nevada.
It's not.
I looked up. I'd actually never heard of this place, so I looked it up, and it is. It's like 200 miles northwest of Vegas. There's a whole lot of nothing out there. There's absolutely no reason.
Yeah, it's just that it has like bad vibe. Like not everywhere with bad vibes is actually haunted. And if places are like setting themselves up to feel bad, I don't know. It's the type of thing that annoys me.
Yeah. She says that she adopted him, by which she means that she asked the hotel if she could take him, and they said yes. I imagine she probably just stuffed him in her luggage when she left.
Yeah, like I don't think that they're gonna but there's no way that they're getting anything across state lines for that. Certainly international.
No.
By the time they catch it.
Right. Says so she stole the clown, we'll say, Yeah, traveled around the country. So far, he's been a peaceful entity. He's often moving on his own, but nothing that would cause me alarm, she
He is
says.
a little racist.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's an old timey clown in Nevada, so you
Yeah, he
kind of
did.
have to
I
assume.
learned not to go to Taco Bell with him very quickly.
Right. Yeah, some retrograde views. Yeah.
Yeah, kept calling chalupas
Um,
ethnic food.
right. Yeah, it didn't go over very well. Um, but yeah, she is Brocade will soon be launching a clown cam so people can keep up to date on her adoption. It's at it says brocard.com, BROCARDE.com. So you can watch it, I guess, like you watch Eagles in a nest, or
Like you watch Eagle's
you can
Nest
watch
or
this
anything
stupid
else.
clown.
Or
Yeah.
like I don't know. I don't know. Here's the thing, right? I'm gonna be totally real here.
Yeah.
Number one, like fuck you, bro. I was so pro Burrow Card until this moment. The way that she disrespected that clown, the way that she continues to
I
disrespect that
agree.
clown, we should adopt this
I
fucking clown
totally
from her.
agree.
We should kidnap this clown
I think
from
so.
Brocard and get him to a
Mm.
loving home with Jason Strong, not me.
I think. Yeah. No, I don't want a clown.
Okay.
I don't like clowns.
I don't want. I think my dog is not going to like the clown. That's the problem, and I would have to choose the dog over the clown.
No, that makes sense.
But like, why
Yeah.
don't we have a
Especially
clown
a
for?
haunted.
There should be a clown for clown program, right? A clown for clown adoption, where a living clown adopts a
Oh
haunted clown doll, one by one,
no,
or a
that
clown
makes total
husband and
sense.
wife.
Yeah. Right. Well, because you want them brought up in their culture, right?
For sure.
Like
Yeah,
I
you want
couldn't
them.
raise a clown. I'm not.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't know whether or not you're supposed to circumcise them.
Right. I don't know how they do their hair.
I think that it's same.
The
Isn't it the
makeup.
same thing?
Right. I'd have no idea. How I don't even know where to get those big shoes.
I think that I'm short.
Well, I
So for
guess
me,
the internet probably.
you just search big shoes, big clown shoes. That'd be easy. That'd be easy. There's a
Yeah.
lot though that I wouldn't
That's the easy
know.
part. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. Truly do not know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I don't know.
here's what I do know, Jason. I've got a story for you.
Take
and
us on home.
This is from a reputable source from NBC. Now, if you remember, before the big break, we covered a $1 hot dog night by our beloved New York Mets.
I did.
And they said
yeah.
it is a bad day to be a glizzy.
Yes, I recall.
Well, it's a worse day to be a glizzy today because now a vital part of the production pipeline is being stopped by the man as a large amount of meat has been dumped on an Ohio road.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just a huge. I'm looking at it. This is a truly massive pile of meat. Like this must be, and they'll probably say in the article, but it is picture an insane amount of meat, and it's a more insane amount of meat than that.
Okay.
As far as cash value, I have to imagine this is like easily $50,000 worth of meat.
Wow.
Well, actually, I don't know. I can't. I take that back. I don't know how much. I can't eyeball that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking meat. I could say that much. This is in Washington County, Ohio, and you know a county is good when it's named after a state that's not the state it's in.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those are always good places. A large amount of meat.
Well, it's in. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was to say, and it's in Ohio.
It's in
so
Ohio,
it's
Washington, and Ohio in the same place at the same time.
Right.
I live in Washington, D.C. No. Oh, the state. No, the county in Ohio.
Ohio.
It's like Miami.
Famous Washington, Ohio. Yeah.
Right, a large amount of meat was dumped on a road in Ohio. The Washington County Sheriff's Office in Ohio said they received information from the Grandview Township trustees that a large amount of meat had been dumped along Grandview Hill Road. Officials have yet to have someone come forward regarding the incident. The sheriff's office asks that if anyone had information regarding this incident to call the Washington County Sheriff's Office at 740-376-7070, extension 0, which, by the way, I'm always down to criticize the police for things big and small. If it's extension 0, that could just be the number, I feel like.
I think so. Yeah.
Or you may leave an anonymous tip at the link. I don't think it's that serious that you need to leave an anonymous tip. I'm sorry. I know.
Right. You're
Is it that serious?
afraid for my
Is it
life.
It's not human meat, right? It's not a fucking body. Come on. They're
Right.
chickens, man. Like, chill out. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Um. So, uh,
Hmm.
I know that you grew up in Ohio.
Yeah.
I want to ask about a rumor I heard in Ohio about Ohio. I don't know if it's true, which is that it's a teen trend called sexual meat dumping,
Hmm.
where you just dump a bunch of
Yeah.
meat on the road and rub one out.
And then jerk
Yeah,
off. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Is that
Yeah. That's no, that's absolutely true. This amount of meat seems pretty ambitious. I never could spare more than like a couple pounds of
Well,
hamburger.
I got. Then I also wanted to ask about these texts I got from you over the break saying, "I feel young again. I feel young again.
Hmm.
I never thought I'd get away
Hmm.
with this much. This has to be like
Yeah.
$50,000 worth of meat. Wait, never
Worth.
mind. I feel like I can't eyeball that."
Yeah. Right. I certainly hope no one anonymously reports me then.
All right.
My meat dumping.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for coming back this
Yeah.
season. We're getting back on track with some guests soon. We're going to be doing some other
Mhm.
things. We are going to be in Johnstown, Pennsylvania for Squonkapalooza on August 10th.
Hell yeah.
And a few other announcements. Number one, on my end, I initially said that I was supposed to be at a concert in Sandoval, Illinois, June 28th. Since I said that, I found out some information about the contest. The long and short of it is, I hope everybody there does well, but I do not feel confident that I would be able to put on a good show there, so I'm not going to do it.
Mhm.
I've pulled. Um, Otherwise, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Short, Andrew Michaels Comedy. Jason, you have an
Mhm.
Instagram.
Yeah, Jason V. Strong.
Yes. And you can follow the show, Underworld News Tonight, Instagram,
Yeah.
TikTok,
Mhm.
YouTube,
Yeah.
uh, and Facebook as
Don't and
well.
don't for Yeah, and don't forget the Spotify question, which I have
The
already
Spotify
forgotten about.
question, which is that would you pay money on Patreon to watch us
Oh,
do
that's right, the
PCP and be locked
PCP.
in a room
Yeah.
together?
Okay.
Let us know. You could also vote
Okay.
on your favorite story in the poll. Uh,
It'd be nice. It'd be nice to get paid for something I'm doing already.
exactly. Yeah. Well, we were gonna do. Yeah, we do PCP alone all the time.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
that was what we did after my anniversary dinner. Was just we did PCP in
Uh huh.
Jason's car. Me and my wife
Yeah.
just well,
And then
Jason's did PCP in Jason's car and then flew out of Colorado.
just rip the car apart with their bare
Oh
hands.
yeah, oh yeah, and feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Woke up to the door in the front yard.
Yeah, well, that's okay because what did you have to like go to work? Did you have to go like to the
Nah.
hospital? Did you have to go like to a funeral?
No, I just had to go buy PCP.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you think about it, you already have that PCP that you have to go buy because you're doing it right now because it's all fucking phantom time right now.
That's right. Thanks.